Hey, there you are. I knew you were going to click on this video, and I'm really, really, really glad you did because this week's most asked question, and I'm not even going to tell you how many times it was actually asked, is going to be about the Bureau's response time. Now, obviously, things are a little bit different right now, right? So we have to take that into account when we're looking at what's going on, how long is it going to take to get a response, and all that kind of stuff. However, I figured that I would actually go and kind of just spell things out in plain English so that we can figure this out together. Okay. So I'm going to show you what a normal process is versus what the current process is. And I am seeing this with almost all files. Okay. So this is a video you definitely want to watch start to finish. And just so you know, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, this is probably not one you want to watch first, but if you are, my name is Kristen. I use factual disputes when I am doing my process for my clients, and this is not regular credit repair. So if you're looking for regular credit repair, you are not going to find it on this video, okay? Now, you can use the link down in the description if you need help with your own credit report and you do not want to do this yourself, because guess what? A lot of people don't know what they're doing, and that's okay because that's what I'm here for. And you can use the link in the description, schedule a call, and I will see if I can take over your file, if this is best for you, and all that kind of great jazz. So let's get right to this. Now, we're doing this as a whiteboard video, but electronically, and I'm using a Wacom tablet, and I haven't used it since like 2015. So forgive me if it gets a little bit funny. Okay, so we're first looking at what the process used to be. Okay, and I tried to find icons that were closest to what I was looking for. All right, so this part's really, really simple. The very first thing that happens is that you send out your letter to the credit bureaus, right? It goes boop, goes to the post office. At the post office, the whoever, the postal people give it over to whoever is in charge of the mail for that day, and they take it over to the credit bureau's facility. So whether that be Equifax or Experian or TransUnion, right? So your letter gets to the credit bureaus. Finally, yay! Normally, there's only like, I don't know, 4 days or so in between you sending the letter and it actually getting to the bureaus. So now we're down here. Okay, so your letter is actually fed into a computer to be read. Now, this is the part that people are most misconstrued about. Okay, there aren't people. The only place that there are people are at the post office and when they take the letters to the credit bureaus. There's no person sitting there opening up your letter with all the creditors and the collectors in a room in one building. They're not talking to each other and trying to figure out what's best for your file. No, dude, it is fed into a computer. If the computer can read it, it's going to then go into the eOscar system. Okay. The Oscar system turns it into 2 to 3 digit code and sends it over to the creditor or the collector. Now, what happens if they can't read it? Well, okay, maybe it'll go to a human, but guess what? That human then turns the entire dispute into a 2 to 3 digit code and puts it into, guess what, the eOscar system. Okay. So now, do you want it to go to a human? Yeah. I mean, basically, yes, you do, because there's a good chance that maybe, I don't know, they had enough coffee that day and they're awake and they're not just, automatically, I don't know, feeding things into the Oscar system, and maybe they'll see an actual mistake and they'll correct it for you. And then, boom, you didn't have to go to the creditor, right? But most of the time that doesn't happen, and you know it. So as adults, we're going to look at this logically, all right? So a lot of you also don't know that if it goes into the system right here and it's deemed to be a template, then we skip all this stuff and we come, tablet doesn't want to work with me right now. we come all the way down here. Forgive my funky lines. Like I said, I'm using a tablet that I haven't used in for like ever. So we skip the investigation, we skip the results, we skip the computer talking to another computer, and we go directly to results and land at your door. That's it. And these results say verified. Once again, if it's a template, it automatically comes from uh, this computer and comes down to your house, walks into your front door, and says, "Hey, Bob, it's been verified." All right. So don't send out templates. What? Don't send out templates. Oh, say that again. Don't send out templates. Why? Just don't send out templates. If you want to know why, watch my other videos, all 332 of them. All right. So moving right along, after your letter is fed into the system and it reads it, it says, "Hey, I don't think this is a template." Now, like I said, it goes into ER. It's going to turn it into 2 to 3 digit dispute, and then it's going to be sent directly over to the creditor or collector. And guess what? It's another computer. It's one computer talking to another. That's why there's this icon right here, because that's what it looks like. Yes, dude, one computer talking to another. It's not one person talking to another and saying, "Hey, we got Bob's letter, and maybe I should take this to my manager because I'm seeing that it's actually legit that Bob collection does say $301 when you know what, his debt's only $299. So because of this $2 difference, I think we should remove it from his credit report." No, what happens is this computer talks to, let's give another computer right here, just so that they're standing next to each other. This is, the bureau's computer. This is the creditor's computer. It's going to do this. One arrow goes this way, one arrow goes this way. Hey, is your information this? Yes. Is your information this? Yes. Same? Same. That's it. Okay. The results are then relayed back to the bureaus and they're uploaded into the system, and boom, now it goes to your house. That is the end of it. That is the end of your investigation. Now, what does this have to do with response timing? Well, this all automatically. Okay, this is not 2015. This is not 2005. Okay, yes, Experian has 17,000 people and 292,000 square foot facility in 26 acres, but those 17,000 people are not there to read your mail individually and, manually respond to it. No, look at these. Look right here. This is a computer. That's a computer. That's a computer. That's a computer. That's a computer. And this is your house, right? So what does this mean? It means it's an automated process. So yes, you are going to get a response within 30 days. And that response is either going to say that it is a template, it is verified as accurate, it is certified as accurate, it's been updated, or it's going to be a stall tactic, right? This right here can have stall tactics, uploaded into it. Oh, we didn't understand. Oh, it's verified. We didn't understand the nature of your dispute. You didn't send in your identification. Well, obviously you did because it's printed on the same freaking piece of paper. This is frivolous. We believe you're working with a credit repair company, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So it's all automatic. So there is going to be a response. The pandemic didn't change any of that. And now we're actually going to go look at that process. So let me just grab my little tool to move this over. And I do hope that you can actually read the text. So let's see if we can just make this a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger. Good enough. All right. Let me just go and grab a pen over here. Yes, we're going to, you know what? Let's use red. Red's nice. Okay. So now this is the current situation. And a lot of people are getting this part screwed up as well. Okay. So once again, you send out your letter to the credit bureaus. It goes to the post office, the mail is picked up and it gets to the credit bureaus. At the credit bureaus, it goes into the computer and it's going to read the letter. If it deems that it is a template, you skip everything and come down here and boom, verified. If it can read the letter, it's going to what? No, it's not going to go into the eOscar system. It's not going to be turned into a 2-digit code. It's actually going to be logged into their system for documentation purposes, it's automatically going to send out a stall tactic. Okay. I'm figuring that, and I'm just throwing numbers out here just for you to understand. Let's use the number 5. So out of every 5 disputes, we're going to say that, I don't know, 3 get and go into the regular system where it goes into eOscar, and the remaining 2 are going to be this process right here. A stall tactic is sent to the consumer because their computers can only process so many disputes. Okay. Right now, companies are working bare bones. Not only are they working bare bones, but even in an automation system, there's still people needed for the approval processes and moving systems from one section to another, one approval process to another, this to that, right? So because they're only working with X percentage of their normal, employee population or whatever you want to call it, everything is super, super slow. That's why I showed you that article, or, the post, or whatever you want to call it, directly from the Bureau's websites, where on April 1st, they came out and said, because of the pandemic, because of the closures, because of curfews, because of all this stuff, okay, everything is slow. So don't expect a response from us within a specific period of time. Don't call us because we don't, we're not going to answer. And you know what? We understand that you don't have money right now because we're in the middle of a pandemic, but you should probably, if you're worried about your credit, reach out to your creditors and pay, even though we know you don't have any money right now because we're in the middle of a pandemic and you can't feed your family, right? So that's the way that it works. So we're going to assume that only a certain percentage gets through and only a certain percentage gets basically rejected as a stall tactic. Okay, and why am I saying this? Because it's happening to my clients. Why am I saying this? It's because it's happening to everybody I've spoken with that is processing disputes. Why am I saying this? Because everybody that's working on their own file is getting this happening, having this happen to them. Okay. So a stall tactic is sent to the consumer because their computers can only process so many disputes. Those disputes go through the eOscar system, go up to their max capacity of what? 50,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 in a 24-hour period, whatever it is. Anything greater than that number automatically has a stall tactic sent out as a response to the consumer. And then boom, it lands in your mailbox. All right. Results then land at your door. That's it. Okay. So once again, we have 2 separate scenarios here. We have it where it's the regular, right? You send your letter, it gets to the bureaus after going to the post office, and then gets fed into eOscar. The entire thing is turned into a 2 to 3 digit dispute. It's then sent over to the creditor or the collector, where one computer speaks to another. It says same information, same. And that's it. Results are then sent back to the bureaus and uploaded and then land at your door. However, this is the current situation, that your letter gets to the bureaus, gets fed into the system. If it's a template, it gets denied. If it goes through, it's only logged for documentation purposes. And then anything up to X amount of letters, right? Because it can only deal with so many within a specific period of time. Those get processed and go through regularly, and the rest of them, it comes back with a stall or scare tactic. That is how it's happening. Because remember, and this is directly off of out of testimony from a lawsuit from someone that actually worked at the credit bureaus, I believe it was Equifax, said that they pre-pandemic got 10,000 letters per bureau per day, right? That's 10 letters per bureau per day. Let me just go grab another pen. Let's choose blue. Blue. Okay. And yes, it is blue. So prior to the pandemic, it was 10,000 letters per bureau per day, right? Now we have 46 million people that lost their jobs, and 50 million people that had their credit cards closed, and another bazillion million cavillion, that which is not even a number, that can't, that couldn't pay and got late payments, and didn't notify their creditors, and now it's going to be posted on there because it doesn't qualify for the CARES Act because they didn't notify them, or they hadn't been on time, whatever. So now all those people that have those late payments and are trying to get help and try to remove them from the bureaus. Now that, let's just extrapolate that. Okay, so let's just say that it's now, I don't know, 50,000 letters per day. Let's say it's 30,000. 30,000 letters per bureau per day. You do the math. Okay, 30,000 times 30, and that's per bureau. Per bureau. What is that, 90,000 letters per month? And that's conservative. I would have to probably say it's 50,000. So you do the math here. You need to look at this and see it for what it is and understand why you may or may not get a response, or why the response is what it is because of our current situation. Nothing is the same. So it really aggravates me when people say, oh, well, why is it going to take this long to remove this? And why is it X amount of time for the program? And well, why is it? Hello? Do you not understand what's going on right now? And yes, it does frustrate me because it's like, do you not own a TV? Do you not watch the news? You gotta know what's going on right now. Dude, and it's not even just the financial industry. It's everything. It's food, it's sports, it's money, it's literally everything. It's everything everywhere. The entire world is slow. So understanding the process will make it much easier for you to figure out how you're going to compensate for this to still get your results, okay? So this is where doing it the right way is so important, and understanding what the next step is, okay? So I might come out with a video about the next step. I might not. I'm not too certain yet. But this was very important for me to put out tonight because I was probably asked over 200 times this week alone. So I figured, hey, you know what? If I've been personally asked 200 times, there's got to be like what, thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are asking about this. So that is why we did. Gave you some insight into what the heck is going on right now. And like I said, if you want me to take over your file, use the link in the description. And if you're watching this on Roku, you will see the actual link show up on my end screen video type of thing. But otherwise, it's expertcreditsweeps.com/book online. Now, another thing is that I created a new homepage of the website. So if you want to jump directly to pricing as well as skip the phone call to self-qualify, you can actually do that directly on my website at expertcreditsweeps.com. Otherwise, that is it for tonight. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully you didn't skip through and all that kind of stuff, because otherwise it's not going to make sense. And once again, forgive my scribbly writing, but this was not an art contest. It was for you to understand the current process, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. All right, guys. So have a beautiful, wonderful, fantastical night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.